Today on our show, we are covering a fundamental topic for the SIE exam, which is registration and licensing of associated persons. This area is crucial because it governs how individuals enter, maintain their status, and exit the securities industry. Let's begin with the first step in anyone's journey, the Form U4, the Uniform Application for Securities Industry Registration or Transfer. When you get hired by a FINRA member firm, this is your entry ticket. You'll provide extensive personal information, including a 5-year residency history and a 10-year employment history, which your firm must verify. The U4 also contains a detailed questionnaire about your past, probing for any criminal, financial, or regulatory red flags. This information is not just for your employer. It is filed with the Central Registration Depository, or CRD. Think of the CRD as the industry's centralized electronic database run by FINRA that maintains the registration records of all associated persons. A critical part of the Form U4 is the disclosure section, which directly relates to the concept of statutory disqualification. Answering yes to certain disclosure questions can prevent you from being registered. For example, the SIE exam might present a scenario where an applicant was convicted of a felony 8 years ago. Is this a statutory disqualification? Yes, because any felony conviction or a misdemeanor conviction involving securities, theft, or bribery within the last 10 years results in an automatic disqualification. A common trap for test takers is not paying attention to the 10-year lookback period. A felony from 15 years ago would need to be disclosed but would not automatically disqualify the individual. Now, what happens when a registered representative leaves their firm, either voluntarily or involuntarily? The firm must file a Form U5, the Uniform Termination Notice for Securities Industry Registration. The exam will absolutely test the timeline for this filing. The firm has 30 days from the date of termination to file the Form U5 with FINRA. This form details the reason for the termination. If the reason involves wrongdoing, it essentially becomes a permanent red flag on the individual's CRD record. After a U5 is filed, that individual has a 2-year window to reassociate with another member firm before their qualifications, like the SIE and other top-off exams, expire. To keep your licenses current while employed, you must complete continuing education. This comes in 2 parts. The first is the regulatory element, which is computer-based training on rules and regulations. It's required within 120 days of your second registration anniversary and every 3 years after that. The second is the firm element, which is an annual training program created by your firm to cover products and job functions relevant to its business. A likely exam question would ask you to differentiate between the two, focusing on the distinct timelines and content. To help remember the 2 main forms, use this simple phrase. U4 is for you to join the crew, and U5 says goodbye to you. It's a straightforward way to associate the U4 with starting or updating your registration, and the U5 with termination. Understanding this life cycle, from U4 filing and CRD creation to potential statutory disqualification, ongoing continuing education, and the final U5 filing, is essential for mastering the registration and licensing section of the SIE exam.